Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing today? Alexander, Angelo, Mary, the whole crew.
Morning, Sir Dale.
Hello, Ryan. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, well, good, mate. You?
Pretty good. So, has everyone recovered from the long weekend? Okay, so we're getting some action, and I was going to ask before this last candle. Let me start with you, Ryan. When a market starts doing this, is it in shock and no one really wants to play?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like being in a car wreck.
Yeah, I think the second intervention this morning, if it was that, rumours to be believed, it's given maybe players a bit of a slap to say, you know, we could be in here anytime we like.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little bit of nervousness, maybe perhaps. I don't know what this last spike was. Maybe, let's say, you know, just a bit more nerves around. Someone's come in hit a bid with a big lump, and everyone's panicked. You know, we saw these types of moves prior to this intervention, as you know. So yeah, a little bit jumpy at the moment.
So is this the third time? So we intervened again. So I don't know how much I spent here, but I was reading 30 billion this day. Friday.
That's the rumor. That's the rumor. Yeah. It was 20. I can't remember now. Was it 29 on that first intervention? Because they declare it at the end of each month. So we'll find out in a couple of weeks.
I'm surprised it didn't take. Good morning, Kman. I'm surprised it didn't take more at higher levels, but because it seems to be more effective. But you know, the Fed stepped in with the leak on Friday.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they didn't intervene and come in and sell dollars for yen. But, you know, I still think you could consider that intervention coordinated.
Well, I wouldn't coordinated. I think yields were looking a little frothy, weren't they, on Friday? I think that was their focus. And I think the MOFBOJ just saw an opportunity to catch a market that had quickly turned and force their point, if you like.
Yeah, I don't know. I see all these other central bankers. I visualize them on the phone, you know, begging Jerome and crying
on the phone, trading.
Please.
When are you intervening? Tell me when you're intervening. I'm going short. Let me get some puts on.
Yeah. Metals give back today. I forgot what Jim was saying for an ABC or something that, you know, but he's looking for new lows. I guess maybe he's talking about an ABC all the way up to here. I don't know. I feel like last week's reversal in the dollar, I have to respect it until it's not there anymore. I could also see a blow to new highs, but I'm thinking about not today, but we get back up towards here, 1280, 1300. And then at least you have a good, you know, I'd be wrong over 1370. I think if you take that out, new highs are coming. But I'll try the short side once this week, see what happens. Surprised of the give back in Aussie today with risk, you know, risk on.
Yeah, well, it's been a bit funny today. You know, yields just you know, off their highs and not looking like bouncing significantly. Yet the dollar seems a bit bid. I think commodities need to be watched because we had all the PMIs out overnight and this morning, and not good numbers, particularly from Europe. So we're probably going to start to get the old global recession scenario playing into markets as well again. We've got the US today, so you know, we jump in from theme to theme again.
Okay, well, I say the market that's shown the best follow through is S&Ps, and they held where they had to, and I think we're about to crack some. Well, we're over the 9, but you know, I think there's pretty good consensus. So you just draw a neckline at 3,800. Consider this like a head. You get 41. there sure is a lot of stuff up here at
Yeah.
41. You know, the interesting comment from that I gleaned was from Joseph Yang, that he's not that bearish, and he's talking about risk, but he's positioned short euro, long the market. So you know, he's saying the dollar could rally in the market, you know, could still be risk on, and you know what? That's exactly what's happening today. So good call, Fed guy. If you're here, you know, wanting to know what to do with the rest of the markets besides interest rate markets. And anyway, so that looks good to me, the S&Ps. And there still is a lot of bearishness. You guys agree? I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's waiting for the bad earnings to come in, and people might be just left in the dust on the sidelines watching this rally. And there aren't anyone.
I don't know. I've heard a lot of, yes, we could be in for a relief rally, and then things get worse again. So I guess the move is like pretty much what people would be expecting right now, especially after the Timmy Leaks article in the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, that's how the market trades. But yeah, you're right. If this 38 goes in the speaks, it could go another 100 points to start with. Why not 200? You know, before the FOMC, there's going to be a lot of guesswork, I think, going into whatever central bank meeting coming up in the next week.
Okay, a lot of bears. And a lot of
We'd
bears.
like to listen. We'd like to hear all the bears, but I think they're bearish in more longer term. But I've heard a lot of, yes, we can be in for a relief rally. So
okay, well then maybe it's going to be more. If that's a consensus view, maybe it'll be more than a relief rally, but we won't know for a while. Anyway, I wouldn't be short, but if we close back under 3,600, that's a big failure. So at least, you know, we have a lot of demarcation lines in markets to trade off of now, where we didn't before. I mean, now, you know, if you thought you were going to hold 3,600, you know, a week or so ago, that was a guess, but now it's done it. And now, you know, if it takes it out after a month of testing it, there's a problem. Houston, there'll be a problem.
yeah,
It's a similar picture.
I don't know whether Powell is but he could signal the problem next week. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think we're going to new highs into the spring.
Alrighty.
Okay, so I mean, you know, but you know, especially if we start this is a downtrend line from the all-time high. So I mean, I think we'll have to pay attention to that 4,100. That's where most people are saying we could have a relief rally too. So yeah, should be some kind of battle up there. Anyway, those are my views. Kman, what are you thinking coming in today after what you saw in the yen overnight?
I was quite disappointed to be perfectly honest with you, because on Friday I missed the 146, and then I went like, no, I don't want to have any orders in the system over weekend and on the Sunday night, and walk in and it's done at 145 and a half, and then we're back at 149.
That certainly is a line of death, isn't it? I mean, isn't that what the BOJ needs? Is closes under 146? Well,
why are we 400 points back higher if they really want to keep it? The MOF, if they want to reverse the market, they should really stamp on it and keep it below 145. I think to scare the long termers. The long termers, okay, it's high volatility, and you do the 400-500 points, which is all the short and small or short medium term putting alerts on there. But the long termers, I don't think they have changed anything yet. And to me, again, as long as MOF, let's call it MOF or BOJ, is fighting against not only the dollar but all the other central banks who are raising rates, and they themselves keep the rates still and putting in more stimulus packages nearly every month. There's another one on the way, by the way. It's going to be tough for me at least, to buy yen for more than an intervention, to be perfectly honest. So
Yeah.
I still think as long as the dollar doesn't die, I still think it's a buy on dips, but dips are wide.
Yeah. Now you just have a complete change of character of the market.
Yeah, that's
the magnitude has changed. I mean, you look at the size of the candles. This was a big one.
Yeah,
now this looks small compared to now.
Yeah, that's what I said on Face, right? I think the what happened on Friday is ahead of the weekend or after the Wall Street Journal. So there's been likely big intervention, but then the rest of the market did the rest, because there was this Timorize Wall Street Journal article as well, scaring the dollar market a little bit, and because we've seen all the rest of the dollars pulling back as well. So I think that explains the Friday move. And then this morning, actually, if you look at the really short-term charts, it was like an absolute panic move. I'm not sure how much they intervened today, but it only lasted for a quarter of an hour, right?
Yeah, that's a 15-minute candle.
Yeah, exactly, and everything was done and dusted. You had to be really quick to jump on anything on any side. So,
morning, everybody.
Morning, mate.
Hello. I just wanted to add just a note. I was chatting with a friend who's was also an ex-rates market maker years and years ago when I was in London, and actually no, he was in the US, and he said, "Yeah, interventions are not working. Next stop 180," and I'm like, "Okay." So, what do you guys think about that prospect? Do you think it's feasible in a dollar yen? I mean,
I think so.
You think so? Yeah.
Unless the dollar turns around, I think so.
Yeah.
I was about to put out a call at 200 last week, so. But we have to overcome 156, 157, because that's a very, very decent target. It's the Abenomics first part of the three arrows, 2012, 2015, and you added on to a triangle break last year after the Fed pivot to go more hawkish. You added on there. It's comes in at about 156, 157.
Cool.
Okay, copper had kind of a channel test here late last week, so it's on the verge of a breakout. We'll see. Stel, any view on the metals here?
I think we're in a holding pattern until the Fed. Unfortunately, we just keep going from one big event to the next, and the Fed is really the one. And I said on the flow show today, I think going into it, especially given now it's the period when the Fed members can't actually say anything, I think we're going to probably see a little bit of risk on and more hope that the Fed's going to turn around. And I think is it the 2nd of November? I think they're going to disappoint again. So I'm not in a hurry to do anything with metals or with anything else for that matter. But I tell you what, if on the FOMC the Fed is dovish, I don't care where metals are. I'm buying.
Hey, I'm sorry, guys.
What would be dovish?
Hello.
What would be dovish?
Hello, Blake.
Hey, Blake.
What would be dovish? Good question. Basically, a signal that they're going to be decreasing the rate hike path, and maybe them saying that we're looking at liquidity issues and markets and stuff like that. Just a deviation from what they've been telling us all along, what Powell has been telling us all along, and we have to face it. He's been hawkish all the time. Yeah. So if he deviates from that, I'm going to take that as a dovish signal, and I'm going to start getting long. I'm didn't say I'm going to go all in, but this is going to be my signal.
It'll be a buy it anywhere day for you.
Yeah.
I understand. Hey, Blake.
Hey,
Steve there yet?
What's that? No,
Steve
actually,
here?
no, but he's definitely en route. Hey, I want to show you guys something. You know, and this is I actually read this when I first got up, and then there's another guy that's out there tweeting about it, and I'm like, man, do you guys see the European natural gas prices are just collapsing here? They're down like 10% right now, and that's intraday, and so you know. The euro looks like it's starting to take notice, but you know, I've people were writing about it like hours ago, and I was like, huh, you know, this is a pretty big collapse in natural gas prices in Europe.
You think it's about Ukraine? Buddy,
I don't know. I don't know. I was going to ask the European dudes if they've got any insights here.
No, it's just that the governments declared that their storages are nearly full, and Spain is refusing boats to come in now because the storages are full, and we talked about it last week.
Oh yeah, but that's great news, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but this continued fall should be supportive of like
yes, risk. But it's not the only thing going on in Europe. But yes, I mean we talk about it.
Yeah.
Jane said Spain and France have announced a pipeline. Pipeline from where though? From who's providing it?
Alexandra says October is unusually warm.
It is, yes.
There's an Indian plume apparently coming this week from India apparently, which is going to see unseasonably high temperatures. I mean, we're forecast to be in the 20s here in the UK this week.
Wow! Nice. Wait, 20s is nice, right? 20s for me is like not so nice, and for Dale. so 20s for you is great.
It's gone, Blake. It's gone. We made it.
I'll tell you what, we find Steve is coming into the United States, into Arizona, where
delightful weather now.
Like it's the most beautiful weather on the face of the planet right now. Anyway, lucky him, because it just broke like literally yesterday. Hey, all right, so that's a big mover right now. The other one is what the hell is happening with the renminbi or the yuan as it takes off. Now I know you guys don't have to explain. There was a Chinese election. We got looks like we're gonna have Xi for at least another
100 years.
Another 100 years. Yeah, because he's getting a term, his third term, but more importantly, he's probably going to get a fourth one too, and a fifth, and he's gonna lead China forever. So the yuan's getting just torn down. Usually, this is a sign of risk aversion. But I mean, I don't know what this actually means. Do you guys have any?
Isn't there a lot of that going on in the markets right now? A lot of that going on about like unusual behavior from that we're not used to.
Well, correlations are, as they often say, is not causation, but when you see a move like this, you generally thinking you would go, okay, well, the market looks like here goes the yuan. China's engineering that, and they're trying to weaken their currency, and that's usually to try to stave off like some sort of risk off type of activity. So
but look, did you see the data? As soon as the party congress finished, that delayed data came out, and pretty much all of it was positive data.
Well, and again, this doesn't match up. I would have assumed we would have gotten a move lower in the dollar CNH.
Exactly. So there's a lot of things that don't compute today.
Right.
I'm confused.
Brand, you are goofballs. There can only be only one. This is from Highlanders. That was silly. All right. Anyway, you got me to laugh. All right. So good. It's when you can make me laugh at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's a great thing. Well, so yeah, it doesn't compute. I don't know how to translate it. But it is one of those things that maybe the market was really short. I mean, look, that was technically, a lot of people were going, oh man, that's it. We're never going higher again. And, maybe a lot of people are caught, chasing this one higher, getting stopped out, whatnot. So what do you guys, I mean, Dale, I was listening to your comments a little bit earlier about the S&P. It looks great here. But I have to say that the dollar's not reacting well.
No.
The dollar is really under some pressure today, and the first thing I asked Kman, I asked Ryan, as soon as I stepped in, like, what's up with the dollar? And Kman's like, well, it was the differentials, the interest rate differentials, because you got yields down today. So that's not the first thing I'm going to look at when I get up at 3 o'clock hour. I'm not looking at like yield differentials. I'm looking at just yields and going, well, hell, yields are down. Why is the dollar just under pressure? But yeah, we've seen, or why is the dollar bouncing? But we've seen this move in yields. So explain to us what's happening in European bonds.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen exactly the same move, and even bigger to a certain extent in the short-end euros as well. The yields are coming off there as well. We are back below 2% in the short end in Germany. So the yield differentials have actually gone up slightly. We saw a big move in the gilts with the possibility of or the probability of Sunak being prime minister. We saw a big move in the gilts as well. So the yields coming off there as well. So yeah, so on the differential side, the dollar, despite coming off 15 BPs or so from the highs, the differentials are not moving, even widening slightly in favor of the dollar. And I reckon that's somewhere behind the move possibly, and the rest is really it's a yo-yo. And now we are in pre-central bank guesswork. We've got a lot of earnings coming out this week as well. I think we are in a yo-yo.
Yeah, I was going to say, just not a lot of it makes sense. What else didn't make sense is so after we finished the Trader Summit. By the way, team, you guys did a wonderful job. The really, Dale, phenomenal job. Ryan, great questions. Kman, this is your first time, stepping in, asking questions of the audience. You did great. Stelios always does subpar. I mean, everybody's really done it.
True story.
True story. No, everybody did a great job. I hope you all at home really enjoyed the Trader Summit event. I think I'm actually excited to go back and listen. I want to listen more to the Western. What I keep calling them Western because I live in the West. Weston and Chris Michael Brown interview that you did, Ryan. I had to step away for a few minutes at that moment, so I missed like the first 30 minutes of that interview. So I'm excited to go back and listen to those. Remember, the recordings they're being edited right now. There's a lot of them, and we want to make them look good for the our obviously our esteemed guests. So it will take a few days for us to process those, but I hope you guys really enjoyed the Trader Summit event. Really great stuff. But one of the things that really surprised me was last night. I was getting ready for Steve and his family to come, and then the dollar yen just fell out of bed. Now I missed your comments a little bit earlier about this move here. Was that another confirmed intervention?
Suspected.
Is so not confirmed?
None of it's been confirmed officially yet, though. Not everyone that's come out since the first one on Friday has said they're not commenting on effects, won't say whether they intervened or not. But Suzuki was out with one comment, and he said that they are currently trying to confront speculators. So that tells you basically everything you need to know. They are currently trying to confront speculators.
So last night what we're doing in the guest bedroom is we were hanging some blinds. My wife would kill me if I said that. Hanging some blinds because we've because she wanted to make it look pretty for our guests, and so I aggressively got short dollar yen at 148.85, and I did just because it was a pullback, and I was like, okay, well, it's going to be capped here. I didn't expect literally within an hour like a 300 pip move lower. It was like I ran across the house back downstairs and closed that all out. That was a really big surprise when that happened. I didn't because I knew around, for us, what I'm looking for is, right around that 5 o'clock hour, which is 8 p.m. Eastern. Things start to get a little bit more lively as, Japan's, coming in. And so pre Japan opening, and this is all the trades room, guys, because, we just put in our trades there in the ForexAnalytix community. If you guys aren't around, if you're not in here, this is where we're at. Okay. Yeah. So I was, I took I like to trade around those hours. We call them the dead hours over here, before Japan really opens up. And I just didn't expect them to come out of the gate, swinging like that. So that was rather shocking to me. So
nice trade.
It was actually it was definitely my best trade of the month for sure, because I was a little bit bigger size than I normally was, because I didn't expect, I wasn't actually expecting some intervention move. The last time we saw that intervention move, I mean, look, it's what was it, 3 weeks later? I mean,
yeah,
you got intervention here, then you got an intervention Friday. I wasn't expecting it yesterday. So that's why, when I'm not expecting it, I can go a little bit bigger sized, Yeah.
Steve was expecting it. He said that they have to follow through. He talked about that during the summit.
Steve who?
Foggy.
Steve says a lot of crap, doesn't he?
Who? Yeah, I mean, Steve talks crap all the time. Like I don't like who's paying attention to Steve? Just you? Just kidding.
I do.
I'm just kidding. No, Steve's a very he's too smart for his own good, actually. Yeah, he is. Hey guys, so look, we're heading into a new week. We are, as you guys mentioned, we're in that quiet period right now with the Fed, and we got between now and next Wednesday, which actually Steve will be here, sit next to me during the Fed meeting. So we'll be trading it together. But what are you guys thinking going into this week? What do you want to do? Because I'll tell you what I want to do, but I'll wait. I'll just tell you right now so I can steal everybody's thunder. I'm actually going to be shorting some dollars. So there. All right. So next, who's just
well, I said already. I'm buying dips in risk.
Buying dips in risk.
Selling rips in the dollar.
Yeah, I mean, I think selling rips in dollars right now makes sense ahead of next week. Next week is obviously a different story. I plan on looking to be long dollars, actually going into the FOMC meeting, believe it or not. But that'll be like Monday, Tuesday.
Here's a Dixie chart, guys.
What's that?
Here's the Dixie. Well, I'm looking at my own Dixie chart. Where's the level?
for Dixie the Dixie
to sell. Yeah.
Oh, to sell it. I would sell it like probably right here. So
okay.
I mean, I'm just did I say that out loud? I mean, I guess I probably did. I'd probably be looking to sell it maybe somewhere about here, which should be about a 38% retracement. Let me just measure that really quick. We're about a 38%. Maybe you risk it all the way up to the 50%, somewhere around here. I'd be a seller.
I like that level.
Yeah, somewhere right around there. So if you can today intraday, if you can see a move like that, I think that's the way to trade it. All right, so that's what I'm thinking. How about you, Stellies? You went. Dale, what are you thinking here?
What you're thinking?
Okay, cool. Kman.
Yo, I'm going to be both ends of ranges. I think, and I said it in our chat room this morning as well. I think we are going to go really up and down and wait for the central banks and the earnings and what else. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really nice range trading week.
Okay, cool. You know what? I haven't looked because obviously I've been a little hectic the last couple of days. You guys see who's the big earnings this week that are coming out this week? I have to.
All of them. Apple, Google, you just name it. They're all there.
Okay.
Let me. Do you allow me to put the earnings whisperers tweet in the chat box? So all the earnings are on there.
Got it. Okay. Thank you very much. And then Ryan, what are you going to be doing this week?
Yeah, I was just about to say it's also GDP week this week, the first Q3 readings. So particularly, obviously, the US is going to be a big one for what people may think about is going to happen into the Fed next week.
All right, and
so
that's going to be the third. That's Thursday for us. We'll be covering that live here.
Yeah. So yeah, we continue. As I said earlier, the PMIs in Europe were left something to be desired. We're going to be looking at growth and stuff this week, and that's going to play into all the central banks.
Those are very contractionary. I mean, those are scary. That's scary data. But it's when you see data like that, whether it's in Europe, and hopefully, well, I shouldn't say hopefully. That's not really right. If you start to see really weak data in the U.S., I mean, that's going to support, believe it or not, that'll support equity markets as people think that the Fed and other central banks will maybe ease off the gas pedal a little bit here. So, but yeah, that's pretty dire PMIs. So, well, hey guys, I know I'm sound a little scatterbrained. I was telling the guys and gals in the chat room, I've been dealing with a headache like the last few days because Dale's with me. You get up so early in the morning and you do it so many days in a row, and without break, it tends to weigh on you. It did on me this weekend. So Dale, thank you for being a trooper out there and really being with us every day and guiding us through the Trader Summit. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. We had a great event. I'm sorry if you didn't register. The recordings will be going to those who did register first and foremost. But if you guys did, those videos will be out probably within the next week or so. Thank you for your patience and thank you for your participation. It is an event without all of you. So team, I'm going to pass it over to you. Dale, it's all yours.
Oh, I have a cancellation on an interview, but anyway.
Paul is it today?
Yeah, it's Arno Venter. Poor guy lives in South Africa.
Yeah.
And they have rolling blackouts. And he said to me, no wonder the Rand is where it is.
Oh, well, let's take a look at the Rand, which is, by the way, it continues to get destroyed. It's down 1%. And this is one that I play on the short side, and I played from and I was doing awesome because I was short like right around these levels, actually down here. I was short over the weekend and it's right back up again. It's like that's kind of annoying. Well, good. I don't say good. We have a cancellation today. So hey, you guys have any other final thoughts going into today? Anything else that I felt a little rushed anyway. So what do you guys think?
Well, there's while you're on the rant, if you widen out a little bit, there's a pretty decent channel starting from August, and then you take 12th of August the low, and then you take 22nd of August to construct the channel, and then we are staying in it. So yeah, that's perhaps a decent one. Now go to the 22nd perhaps, and that's the channel is even clearer.
Yeah, there's the 22nd.
Yeah,
yep, there it is. Yeah, that is a good one. Hoping we don't see the upper end of that channel.
Kman. Yeah,
looks like it's going there.
Yeah. Hey, shut it, Dale. Dale, what else do you have here? What else do you? Thanks, Kman, for that look.
I have the most conviction in the S&Ps, Blake.
Yeah,
more than I do in currency right now, more than I do in metals, and that's a shift. So
look, I mean that false breakdown's really given the bulls a nice little tailwind, and I think if we break this 3820, look, the next level is 3900, and we got some resistance up there, horizontal resistance up at those levels. You can see previous support right there. I mean, there's a lot of I think it could give us a nice little what would that be, an elevator up kind of move?
Yeah 300 handles. I'd like to see that happen before the Fed, and then if
300 handles, that's a big ask, man.
Yeah, well, it put on 100 over 100 in one day, Friday.
Oh,
so 150 in 2 days.
Yeah,
like 200.
Yeah. All right. Well, dang it, do not keep meaning to do that. Ryan, you have any last minute thoughts before you head on out? I think he had to leave.
Everyone's fried, Blake.
He probably been called away after working all weekend. His wife is like, "No, you're mine today." All right, sounds good. Stelios, any last minute thoughts before you head out?
Not really. No, sorry.
You are always just a ball of fun. All right, guys. Well, hey, I'm like you, Dale. I'm looking for a little lift and risk here, and and hopefully that'll carry some currents through the rest of the market. So, all right. Well, Dale, I'm going to pass it back to you. You guys have a great trading day. Thanks again for your participation over the weekend. Hope you all enjoyed it. And I'll see the ForexAnalytix folks. I'll see you guys on the morning edge in about 45 minutes. So see you there.
Blake still has great energy. The rest of the team is fried. You could tell. You good? Anything else still? No.
Remember, don't just count your pips. Count your blessings.
Yeah, there you go. Everyone, so we'll see you for turnaround Tuesday. Join the team in 40 minutes, 44 minutes, morning edge. And if you can't get in there, sign up. We have the trials going again, don't we? Check it out for 10 days for $1.
We do have the trial. Yeah. Even though our price has risen, we still have $10 for $1 for 10 days.
Yeah, so an even better reason to, do the trial and check it out. So that's it. Stelios closed it, and see everyone for turnaround Tuesday. Thanks for being part of a great thing,
Thank you,
this
Dale.
community.
Thank you, Coach.